think it's going to be a chaotic episode this time because there's been dogs barking all night.
Starting?
Yes, we've started.
You don't do the intro.
This is our little preamble for the start of the podcast. Do you even listen to Collectania?
No.
We do a preamble, we do a theme song, and then we come in.
I probably should. I assume I was in the podcast. I know what we talked about. There's no point in
edit out
listening.
every point you made, and you don't even know. That's what
Basically
I usually do, by the
you
way.
and me just going, yes, I agree.
Yeah, that's
the whole way through.
I can't believe you haven't noticed. The jig's up. Flip. It's going to be chaotic because there's been dogs barking. There's been motorcycles going up and down the street. We nearly finished our drinks just because we've been talking so much, not recording. And you're feeling sick once again. So
Yeah, again.
yeah, fun
Right.
times at Collectania of Everything. Okay, now officially start the episode and you say welcome.
Just welcome?
Yes, now we started and you say welcome to the Collectania.
Right.
Do it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. Welcome to the Collectania of Everything. Did I pronounce that right? Collectania. I said it weird because I was smiling a little bit.
Yeah.
Collectania of Everything.
Collectania of Everything.
I'm your
Collectania.
host, Hamish, and I have with me my guest, Jasher.
Very, very good to be here. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for the warm welcome. I don't know why we're still so bad at podcasting when we've done this for
Are
over
we
half
not
a
doing
year.
the host swap anymore?
We did that for the first 2 episodes. Are we still rolling a dice?
True. Crap,
We
used
need to bring back the dice roll to figure out what
We
we're talking
did.
about.
It's not even been that long.
It's been
Why-
over half a year. We started in January. It's now July.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
We're coming up on year 1, season 1 of Collectania finishing.
Really?
Before we know it, yeah.
That's actually pretty crazy. I didn't realize.
I know. Yeah, we're going to have to do end of year special.
That's right.
Oh, we still got to tackle the Moho
I have
Man.
a tent. I still haven't put
You have
it
a
up
tent?
and
Yeah, there we go.
checked them.
We're sorted.
Old tent. My parents just told me, hey, this is yours. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's real old.
We'll bring it out,
My
open it up,
childhood.
it'll be all ripped up. And
Yeah, but I think it's a decent sized tent.
there we go.
We can use that to go and hunt for the
The Moho Man.
Moho Man. Yep, that's
I'm
the
looking
one.
forward to it. That's still our end game here, guys, so stay tuned.
Yep.
We are drinking, as we said, nearly finished drinks, but I just had a classic glass of water because we haven't done the groceries. And we're almost out of everything. We didn't even have milk for your tea.
Nope. Oh, well, I'm drinking hot chocolate now because he had the same hot. Was it from last week?
Yeah.
Hot chocolates.
The returning champion, hot chocolate
Yep.
at the moment.
Yeah. So, that had a little bit of milk powder mixed in with the hot chocolate because it's in a sachet. So that.
Only the best.
So
tea,
that's
Hamish.
why I had that
Here we go.
hot chocolate instead of a tea
You gotten up to much this week?
this week.
Or the last 2 weeks?
I'm trying to think of because this is normally where my brain goes when you ask me this question. I think
Yeah.
of okay, games. What games have I played?
Yeah.
And
You
I'm
still playing Doom
what
Eternal?
TV shows. Still playing Doom Eternal.
Liking it?
I finished Doom. I told you
Yeah,
that
yeah.
already. Yeah, I am actually really liking it.
Nice.
Yeah, some mechanical things and some just subtle things that they've changed from between the games that I'm not too crazy about.
Yeah.
I preferred it. It's not like it's bad. It's just I preferred it the older.
Yeah.
The older as in being the 2016 version.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying that.
Have you seen the Doom movie?
No.
We need to cover that. That's one on the list for the Collectine of Everything.
Sweet.
Doom movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Really?
Gonna be good.
Was that him?
Yeah.
Wait, when did that come out?
Mid-2000s must have been. I don't know.
Yeah.
Great special effects.
He was basically accepting any role back then, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, is he still?
Hmm.
I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, it's been really bothering me because I don't have a PC, so I can't play it.
I've left you and not played much Dark Alliance.
Yeah, well, I
Which we've
didn't
talked
realise
about
there was
before.
another D&D game that was
It's
better.
so much better. Yeah, it's like D&D in video game format. All turn-based, all the same classes and races and skills. It's great.
Yeah.
I've been loving it.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Thank you. I'm just I'll keep making you more envious and envious until you just can't take it anymore and you have to buy a PC. What else have I been up to? I watched the Fear Street trilogy on Netflix. Don't know if you've heard of it.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I think I saw that being advertised.
Yeah, it's like...
I was interested in looking at it, but I was like, is it a horror?
It's a horror.
It sounds like a horror. Looks like a horror.
Yeah, it's been advertised as a massive horror trilogy event. They released like one a week. And it was I think the first one set in 1994, the second one set in 1978, and the third one set in 1666. That could be wrong. But different time periods, different cast every movie.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I really didn't like it, and I don't know. I just wasn't my thing, and it's baffling to me how popular it is because everyone's jumped aboard on it and everyone loves it. But it just feels like
maybe you're just a hater.
Maybe I'm just a hater. I don't know Let me know if you liked Fear Street, guys.
And maybe I'll have to watch it. And then we can talk about it.
Yeah, I'd be interested if you did. What you thought? To me, it just feels like Riverdale.
Oh no.
With a few like. It's like R16 Riverdale, so like a gory Riverdale, and it's like all the same teen drama, romance.
Oh my goodness!
And then there's a few like gory kills, and it almost feels like it's just like trying to get that generation that was really into those soap opera teen TV shows, kind of introduce them to horror, and I think it's just blowing kids' minds because they haven't really seen this type of thing before. When I'm like, Scream did this so much better. All these other movies did this so much better.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't there a Scream TV show? Or
I think I haven't seen it.
I watched a bit of it.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. I think it was just called Scream, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a Scream TV series. That kind of sounds like the same thing.
It kind of felt, to me when I watched like the first season, I think.
Yeah.
It felt. Yeah, it kind of felt like the same thing where I think I was watching it because I was like, oh yeah, it's like, slasher TV show, it's going to be great. But it also kind of felt like it was just like trying to make that kind of more appealing to the younger generation.
Yeah.
Adding in like, more the teen drama and that sort of stuff. And it was just, I don't know.
Have you seen the original Scream?
I haven't actually.
Oh. There we are.
Yeah, well, the TV show didn't do it for me, so I didn't go back and watch it.
No, don't say that.
It didn't appeal to me that much, so.
But yeah, let me know what you thought of Fear Street, everyone. I did the second one I found better than the others.
Yeah.
It was this one set in the 70s, and it was set at a camp. And it was just like a crazy killer going on the loose at a summer camp. Which I'm a sucker for stories like that. This is kind of like
going off the hype or the I don't know what you would call it, but from Stranger Things, how it's like a horror set in like
very much so. It's probably it's better
set
to say
further because that's set in the 80s, eh?
Yeah.
But I'm just meaning like just set further back, more like nostalgic sort of time periods.
Yeah.
So it's appealing to older people because they're like, oh, it's a TV show set then, but then it's also I don't know. I don't really. I just kind of feel like there's a lot. It feels like there's more like horror stuff sort of set, like I guess in that sort of time, like not set in modern time. I'm basically trying to say like set more around the 80s, 70s kind of time period. I don't know why. I think maybe it's just because that's when all the good horror movies were made. I don't know.
Just trying to recapture the magic.
But I feel like since I don't know. I've noticed it since Stranger Things. It feels like there's more. That's more the trend.
Totally.
That things.
What's funny as well, because with this, it's like literally every 5 minutes there's another needle drop, and it like plays a song from that time period, and it just rides off songs, like nostalgic songs for the whole movie. And to be honest, the one that's set in the 90s didn't really feel like it's any different from today. Like they didn't put too much effort into making it feel different, other than the songs. Like I don't know. Yeah, it just feels. It felt off to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just me. Probably is. But
yeah, probably.
I watched that. I did like the second one. Yeah. Other than that, the only other big thing I've really been watching has been Loki.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm still watching X-Files.
Are you still?
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, forget what I teased what the episode might be about. Are you still watching X-Files?
Yeah, I'm still watching.
How far through are you?
We're still in season 2.
Nice.
But like, since Loki sort of stopped and we watched, there were a few other shows we were watching that sort of like have ended. basically, or we've finished them off. We're just picked back up X-Files again because we're just sort of like, oh, there's nothing else to watch. No, that's not really. That's kind of the attitude, but we want to watch it. It's just more that like it's slow and there's a lot to watch, so it's kind of like our long term. What we're watching, we'll probably still be watching after like this year's long gone.
I mean, I've been watching it for the last year and a half with my sister, and we're on like season 7. So
so it's sort of like something you sort of jump in and out of in the background while we're watching. It's nice to
self-contained stories most of the time. Yeah. So has it been what were the last couple of episodes you watched? Has it been any good?
The last episode we watched was what's it called? The Firewalker? Is that what it was called? It was
Firewalker. It felt kind of like the Ice episode, which was kind of a play on the Thing scenario when there's like a few people in a confined outpost. And
that's the one. So it was like
it was like a weird funguy or something?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping I thought it was going to be some like weird creature that was living in there. But no, so it's like so it's basically a bunch of scientists who have they have this thing called the Firewalker. I'm pretty sure I'm getting the name right.
I think it's
basically like this big robotic spider. It's in the 90s, it doesn't actually look that great.
Yeah.
But they think, but it can walk in these ultra hot parts of this big volcano, essentially, and collect stuff for them to do research on.
Yeah.
And it has cameras and everything, so they can see everything, where it's going. And there's basically like this big mountain with a bunch of caves catacombed all through it. Can't remember if it was mines or not, or if it was just natural forming caves. But anyway, they send this big spider through. And it uncovers stuff and it brings it back, and they didn't realize that it was like some ancient fungus thing that I think they unearthed it. I think they found something and they like smashed it and they brought it out. Anyway, so there's these spores that when inhaled would start growing in like your lungs, I think.
Yeah.
And eventually it will like burst out through your throat, and it will be just like this weird looking like. It's basically just like a weird-looking shoot would pop out. It's not like a mushroom or anything. It was just like it just looked like
looks like alien's chest burster, but like out of your mouth, and it's a plant.
Well, it wasn't out of your mouth. It was out of the base of your neck,
throat,
out of the base of your neck, throat area. So Mulder and Scully, who just recently got reunited again. The previous episode before that,
he was working with Agent Krycek.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah, Alex Krycek.
Oh no, that was a few episodes. No, so the previous episode was when they found Scully again. So before that,
Scully was abducted
essentially, but they're still not sure if it's like, has she been abducted or is it a government conspiracy thing? We're not sure. So the previous episode was they found her again, but they found her body. It was like. Well, she was in a critical condition and she was at a hospital. No one at the hospital could say when she came in, who brought her in, or because she's in a critical condition, or like who treated her and like whatever to like make it so she didn't just die, or whatever. Like essentially, she's just there and she's like hooked up and everything, and they're monitoring her now.
That means you would have watched the episode when like Mulder was real depressed and like hooked up with a vampire.
Yeah, that was the episode before that.
There we go.
That was the worst episode so far.
Such a bad episode. It's
so
like
weird.
him just sad, like sitting out on a hill at the end of the episode while a house is up in flames. He's just looking at Scully's necklace.
Yeah. This is like the first episode where they're finally back together.
Nice.
And so he's like really protective in this, like of making sure that she doesn't go out in danger, which ends up meaning that she is in danger at one point. Because he doesn't let her follow him out, for some part of it anyway. So she ended up staying back at the lab where everyone was infected, and they didn't realize. So I was like,
to be honest, I'm just happy you're watching X-Files. Yeah. It's making me happy. Are
we talking about this tonight?
No. X-Files episodes later on down the track, dude. We're gonna save it.
I'm like going full on this because it's like I don't know why.
Because you're liking it. It's good.
It's good.
There we go.
Anyway.
Okay.
It's good, and everyone's infected except for Mulder and Scully, and one of the scientists who they all thought was crazy because he was murdering them. because he knew that they were infected.
The episode finishes, Mulder and Scully sitting outside. Mulder hands Scully a drink. You see that Scully still has an earring. Fire's going up behind them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Who's
exactly.
still
I was wondering, I was like, I don't remember that. It's like, how do you remember this and not me?
Oh, man. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Loki tonight. Yeah, we've both been watching Loki. I guess we've talked about WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier on this podcast before. And I mean, last time we mentioned Loki, it sounded like you had some interesting thoughts about it. So I'm interested in what you took away from the series finishing.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I'm like making nervous noises is because really, for some weird reason, I watched this whole show the whole way through. I've been like, I can't form an opinion on this. I don't know why. I don't really know whether or not I like it or I hate it. I can't tell. I don't know why. And I'm like, well, it's probably because I haven't finished it, and I'll just wait till the very end. I've come out the end, watched the finale, and I'm just sitting here like, I don't know what to say about it. Like that's horrible for someone who's doing a podcast.
That's why you're buying time talking about X-Files, yeah.
Because actually, and I don't know if it speaks to how average it is, or if it's just the fact that maybe this is the first time I'm actually enjoying one of the Marvel TV shows the whole way through.
Yeah.
And my brain is just automatically like, say something bad about it. And I'm like, oh, there's nothing actually bad to say about it. And now I'm just a really negative person. I can't think of anything positive to say. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
Keeping that nice middle ground, you know?
If I'm going to go real into it, I felt like the show was very slow. The show for a Marvel cinematic, like part of the cinematic universe. I'm just going to ignore, because like, to be honest, I could talk about WandaVision and all my issues with that. I could talk about...
Yeah, we've done it before.
Just ignore those. I'm just going to focus on this. I'm not going to talk about the others.
Yeah.
Focus on this. I think it was rather slow. It felt rather slow. But that's the thing, is like, I'm like, it's kind of slow for what it is, for a superhero show. But then I'm like, I actually really enjoy slow-paced shows. I really enjoyed the first season of Mandalorian for that fact. That it started off real slow and it was just steady going through. Yeah, I just like that. I like slower paced. So that's like a negative that's also a positive to me. So it's confusing. I'm like, I don't know how to say this. At least at the beginning it was very slow anyway. But I feel like to actually watch and enjoy the show, and this is probably another factor that's coming into this, my indecisiveness, is that I feel like you kind of have to not overly criticize it and try and poke holes into, like, plot holes into it, or issues with the timey-wimey stuff and all that. You kind of basically, and I think that's kind of what I did automatically when watching it, is like I didn't try and make sense of it.
Yeah.
It just... like, oh yeah, if they say that makes sense, it's just going to make sense. Yeah. And then that's, I don't know, I think that helped me a lot to enjoy the show.
Nice.
Which I don't know if is a good thing, really, for a show. I feel like a show should be able to, if they're making it about time travel and that sort of stuff, they should make at least partial sense, you know? I think they did. I think they did to a point. I think it's just, I think the thing is that really, like, I feel like any show that's about time travel, there's going to be issues with it. You know, there's always going to be some, but especially when it's like time travel and alternate reality stuff, it's just like,
you can't think about it too much, or else.
Yeah.
I mean, I found myself approaching it the same way like I used to approach Doctor Who. Like, you kind of just...
Yeah, you kind of just enjoy it for what it is. You don't really start, like, you know, you don't really start poking holes in, like, their science, you know? Yeah. But, I don't know. So I can't really speak into that because I didn't really give it too much thought. Yeah. I do think there are some definite issues with it, but I feel like, but I don't really have much to say about that. I don't know. I felt like, to me, the ending, I felt a bit annoyed that the ending was, it kind of felt like it was either setting up for another movie, a different movie, like maybe Doctor Strange, or just setting up for the next season. I do enjoy the fact that it ended on a cliffhanger, but the fact that the cliffhanger, it kind of just felt like when you really think about what they accomplished in the entire show, it sort of just felt like, I don't know, like the accomplishments of what they achieved in that show.
Nothing much happened.
Nothing really. Well, a lot happened. Nothing was really achieved.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Like, spoiler alert, when they kill the guy at the end, like I said, spoiler alert, can't. Can't get grumpy at me.
When they kill He Who Remains.
When they killed the guy at the end, he just comes back again, and that's the big cliffhanger at the end. They're like, he's back.
Yeah.
He said he was going to come back.
Yeah.
And there's so many different versions of him and all that sort of stuff. And really, it's just like, it leaves you excited about like, what's going to happen next. But it's like the show, like, it brings back Loki, which is like, yeah, that's great. And then it brings in female Loki, and there is like some really awkward romance there. Yeah. What did they call? There's I can't. It's too late for me to remember the words. But basically, it's like someone who's so self-absorbed that you actually fall in love with themselves.
It's Loki for you, yeah.
it's funny. It was honestly quite funny. Yeah. Very, like, if anyone of the MCU, like, I feel like, was to fall in love with themselves and there would be like an awkward romance thing in the show, it would be Loki. Yeah. But then it's also interesting because all the Lokis seem to hate each other as well.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't know. Yeah. I think it felt like it made sense. Yeah. That whole thing. But like, even then, it's like he finds, he becomes a better person in the show, and he finds, and he finds like a love interest in it. Mm. But then at the very end, she's gone. And the world's in chaos, and the guy that they've been trying to hunt down the whole time is back. Like,
potentially he set it all in motion as well. Like,
yeah.
It's just, yeah.
But I feel like and also all the progress with the other characters feels like it's lost because they're all other variants they show at the end. Like, they're all different variants of themselves. So to me, it's like, it sort of feels like,
well, history's been rewritten, I think. Okay.
Yeah, but like, or he's just in another reality, like another
Who knows
alternate
what
thing.
But
like, it can be annoying when a show ends in a way that makes everyone, like, makes so much more room for, like, conspiracy theory. Well, not conspiracy theories, but theories fan theories on, like, what's going to happen. And people get jump on bandwagons for, it's definitely going to be this, it's definitely going to be that. And it just creates all the arguments, and then all the comic book like, nerds.
That's me.
Sorry to use,
Yeah.
That's you.
It's been crazy watching it with these latest few like TV shows, because you didn't really get it before. People waiting weekly for the next installment, and people theorizing as crazy as they have been, and getting so disappointed if something doesn't happen.
Yeah,
it's been interesting.
Yeah, people who are more knowledgeable in the comic book nerds, will jump out, and and suddenly it's like it becomes like a big thing of like, who knows more and whatever. When we all know that the MCU is only, it's not like dedicated to its, to keeping exactly with the comic books.
Yeah, no,
it's just sort of using them more for inspiration than anything.
Yeah,
but it can be fun, but then it can also make a very, like, I don't know, I don't like using the word, but kind of in a very, like,
kind of toxic.
Toxic, but like in a very, like, frustrating, like, situation where people will just, where it's just big arguments come out of the woodworks of what theories or what. And
it's honestly pretty crazy, because even with, like, what happened between Loki and Sylvie, the romance, you had so many people, like, arguing about why it was amazing, and you have so many people arguing about why she left in the end, and, like, it's just, I'm just finding it strange to kind of, I don't know if it is good or bad. I guess it's kind of fans, but
but I think basically what I'm trying to get at is that really, when you assess all that, a lot happened in the movie to build the MCU, in the show, I mean, to build the MCU. It's opened up so much more that the MCU could do with it. But when you really think about the actual story, the actual characters in the actual show, not just what they've accomplished, what the MCU's accomplished to be able to do more, because when you think about it, when they're opening up the multiverses and stuff, they can do all sorts of crazy stuff.
Oh man, the comic book nerd in me is like,
yeah,
Nick Cage Ghost Rider, bring him into the MCU.
That'd be great. When you really think about the show itself, though, it's kind of average, and they didn't really achieve all that much. And it's kind of sad when you think about it that way.
Yeah.
And, sure, I'm going to watch the second season, and I think by far it is the best out of all three of the Marvel shows that have come out. I know I said I wouldn't talk about them. I'm just comparing them. That's all. Yeah. I'm just saying, it is my favorite one so far. And I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the experience. But honestly, I feel like it's one of the things where I will probably, I don't know, I'll probably move on quite quickly.
Yeah.
And I feel like, we haven't discussed this yet, but it goes in part, hand in hand with my thoughts on, with the Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
Watched it, I enjoyed it, there's stuff I can talk about, my favorite bits and stuff like that, but honestly, in a month's time, I'll probably forget.
Yeah.
It's a very forgettable movie, very forgettable show. I feel like, and I think people are going to get real angry at that because of just how much, because I think the concept and the approach for Loki was unique.
Yeah.
But, the concept and approach for WandaVision was unique.
Yeah.
And I felt like that was average as heck. And I've already,
You can say something about fucking Winter Soldier, right? Like the approach at trying to tackle social and racial culture, and it's
I suppose
pretty new.
I think I don't know. I think there's a lot of stuff that has that in it nowadays, but
yeah, probably right.
Yeah, good on them. Whatever, I think with that show, I think the thing is that
we're talking too much about the shows.
Yeah, you're jumping into other shows. That one, I don't know. Disagree with me or agree with me, it doesn't really bother me. I don't watch a show for political input.
Yeah. I
watch a show for the show.
Yeah.
For the characters, for their development, for what happens, that sort of thing. If they want to put in political input, that's fine. But I'm not gonna give them a higher rating in my own opinion and my own,
because they're talking about all
because
these
of
issues
that.
And
I'm like,
no, I get it.
I realized that I could, you hate that opinion or whatever. It's just that's just how I watch stuff. That's how I view things.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to watch something on politics. I'll probably watch a documentary or something like that. Something more.
Yeah.
But I do understand what they're trying. I do understand the what do you call it? The intentions behind it and the I don't know what you call it. Words are escaping me at the moment.
Yeah.
There's a Black Captain America now.
It's pretty the importance.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
But to be honest, when I'm watching through it, that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm like, oh, obviously he's going to be next Captain America.
Yeah.
And that sounds real insensitive. I'm not meaning I'm watching it and I'm going through and I'm trying to figure out and I'm enjoying or not enjoying the show based on how well they're doing the story, how well they're doing the villain, how well they're doing the character development the way through. They can put it in and at the end of it, and that's what I'm trying to say with Loki as well, is at the end of it, what they've done is significant for the MCU.
Yeah.
And what they've done for Falcon and Winter Soldier was significant, but it doesn't mean that the show was actually good.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I'm with you there.
And so that's really what I'm trying to get at. And so with Loki, making me jump all over the place with Loki, it I don't know. I felt like overall it was more enjoyable to watch, more humorous, the characters were more interesting than the other two shows, and I think the way it was more consistent the way through.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't it didn't blow me away. And I don't know. And I think that might just be because I'm a hard person to impress, I guess, when it comes to shows. But yeah, I really, as I said, I did like the characters. I found them interesting.
Yeah.
There were some rather forgettable ones, and there were some, that didn't really feel that like they fit in that great. I remember like the kid Loki. I feel like there's probably some significance behind him, but I felt like it felt like they were trying to make a big deal, oh, this guy's, this is his home world and stuff, and then it's just like he sort of walked away with the old classic Loki, and the old classic Loki came back and made a bigger scene and he's way more like noticeable.
Yeah.
And the other kid just disappeared into the woodworks. Just who knows what's happened with him.
Yeah, man. Young Avengers. No, yeah.
But you know what I mean. It's just like totally. It kind of felt like they were trying to make a big, like being like in charge of that little group, and him being sitting on the throne, and
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know what they were trying to do there, and if it is significant or not. But
yeah,
it didn't. Yeah, I don't know. There's stuff like that go through. Yeah. But like honestly, I feel like there is nothing that stands out so much that I want to like point out and talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing now that I've been talking a long time for someone who honestly doesn't really have much of an opinion. Podcasting. Here we go.
There we go. That's the magic, guys. I agree with you. I really liked it. I really liked Loki. I thought it had really awesome style. And the kind of like set design for everything.
I like the music.
The music was incredible, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's probably...
There we go. That's probably the best thing from it, in my opinion.
No, like, honestly, the music was great. All the costume design, just I guess the new setting for the whole thing, the whole TVA aspect was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And actors were great. I really like Tom Hiddleston's Loki's always great and an interesting and fun character. I think so much more so than Falcon, Bucky, WandaVision.
Yeah.
Like, just, you're always going to have fun with that character. And I just came away from it enjoying it. There was some parts, like, I agree it was a bit slow. I really didn't like the third episode. I think when him and Sylvie were just stuck on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of felt just like a
filler. I thought it was like the fourth.
Might be in the third or the fourth, yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
But yeah, it was kind of just like a filler episode, and it just felt, again, like what I didn't really like about The Mandalorian at times, when it was just like, hey, they need to do this and get here, and it's just a mini side quest to just fill the gap between the next big thing. But I loved the conclusion. I actually really loved the finale episode. The whole introduction of He Who Remains, or as the comic book nerds know him, Kang.
Yeah.
That was something I was excited about, and I was kind of theorizing a bit about myself. And great performance from the actor who played him. I thought, I'm really looking forward to seeing this character again, or a version of him. And I kind of finished the whole thing, and I felt kind of like how I used to feel going and seeing these movies, or looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
And just, I guess, thinking of all the possibilities of what can come next. I guess it feels like that's the whole intention of Loki, really, to set up the next phase, to introduce perhaps the different versions of Spider-Man in the next Spider-Man movie, and to set up Doctor Strange, and set up Ant-Man.
Which is, it's all well and good, setting up for stuff, but then, and like, you have to watch it to understand the next, all the stuff for it to make sense. But it also still, to me, it kind of feels like, it's a bit of a waste of time. It's like sometimes when it feels like that's all the purpose of the show really is.
And I think this kind of played it well, like it was that, but it also did kind of do some cool character development as well, and kind of told a story that, it, of course, is made to continue in the next season, let alone in the next movies. But the comic book nerd inside me was pretty happy just thinking about all the possibilities, and the cliffhanger was great. And I finished it, and I was like, this is definitely the best thing that's come post like Avengers Endgame yet, and it sets up potentially better things to come. So I was happy, but it did have its times where I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. Black Widow, because I saw that as well at the movies. Did you watch it on Disney Plus?
Yeah, Disney Plus.
Yeah, I watched it in the movies, and the cinema was packed.
Really?
Like, it was cool. It was cool just going back and seeing a Marvel movie like this, experiencing it with other people.
I like the Red Guardian.
Red Guardian was great. I think I probably have the same thoughts as you. The movie was pretty average. I mean, it was a fun, a fun time.
It was an enjoyable movie. And
jokes, cool action scenes.
Again, interesting characters, like quite fun characters, quite humorous at times and stuff like that. But I think overall for the movie, it was still kind of an average movie.
Yeah, and absolutely Red Guardian played by David Harbour.
Yeah.
And Yelena played by Florence Poe.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to say her last name. Poe?
I don't know.
She's great. I love everything I see her in, and she stole the show in this as well.
Yeah.
And it was just a fun time, but nothing really, meaningful.
Yeah.
And there was all... they're trying to do, kind of put this old guy villain figure overseeing all these women and, trying to... I guess say something socially, like all the Marvel movies and all movies nowadays seem to be doing. But I don't really care that much about that whole aspect. I didn't really like Taskmaster. I know that's the villain.
Is that his name?
Taskmaster.
You ever watched Taskmaster though? The show.
The show, the comedy. No, I have seen.
It's actually a good show. It's a good show.
Perhaps better than the villain. But yeah, Taskmaster. He's awesome in the comics. He can mimic people's abilities, quickly learn them, quickly fight back. You saw on this that Taskmaster knew some of Hawkeye's skills, some of Black Panther's, some of Captain America's, Black Widow's.
Yeah.
But then it was kind of just a spoiler alert for Black Widow. You find out Taskmaster's just like a mind-controlled girl who you thought had died earlier. And nothing like the awesome character that Taskmaster in the comics was. It was kind of just I guess Marvel tend to do it when they tend to change or kind of try and surprise you with this twist they've done on a character, but it kind of fell flat for me. But I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah. I didn't understand what they were trying to do with the character. I think that it was just more the fact that it was just someone in a suit who had, I don't know. It's just that Marvel has a lot of people in suits.
Yeah.
And the suits are really the superpower, not them.
Because, they're trying to make it, as realistic as you can for a superhero movie, really,
which is good. I like that.
Yeah.
But it does sometimes when they add in another character in a suit, it gets boring.
We've had so many of those, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But then it's the same thing which is another critique I have for Loki, actually, which I've had with WandaVision as well, is the fact that when they bring in, with the shows I've noticed, I feel like the movies are better at, or I guess it's just because it's not focusing on one character for so long.
Yeah.
But with, it's not, movies are more quick paced and stuff like that. And they tend to cut out a lot, and I don't know. Maybe it's that. I don't know. But I feel like the shows tend to take a superpower and basically, and also might be budgeting things, but they basically turn WandaVision's power, Wanda's power, and Loki's powers into just glowing lights and lawlessness. Essentially, there's no real laws about it. There's no real rules. They can pretty much do whatever they want, right? And they have magical lights that do it. Yeah. And that's kind of the feeling of it. Whereas in the shows, I felt like with Loki, there was more rules about what he could and couldn't do, and it kind of everything he did, it kind of made sense. Whereas in this, I saw him, I'm pretty sure, for instance, him making little fireworks and stuff. It kind of made it in his hand, made a bit of sense because he's he's illusion stuff, Yeah. But then at the end where I think he just used, I can't remember what he did. I think he pushed something out of the way in the very final fight.
Yeah.
He used something to push something out of the, but he was basically using the force. It's just moving stuff around without using his hands. And it was just I don't remember him having the force. I thought he made things appear, conjured things, teleported, and made illusions.
Yeah.
I thought that was his abilities.
Yeah.
But it's now he's shooting this green stuff around, and he basically, he's just Magic Man.
Yeah, he's the Magic Man. No, I found that a bit as well. And the graphics, to be honest, I didn't find that great.
No, they weren't that amazing.
Again, it's probably because of the lower budget and because of COVID and everything.
Yeah.
But
I think I might just have a hate for magic for superpowers that's just glowing lights.
Just relying on like CGI.
Cloudy light stuff that it's real. It must be cheaper for them to do.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of that in WandaVision. And I just got so sick of it.
I didn't like the last battle. We've already talked about it, but the last battle.
Well, let's move on.
Too much CGI.
Also, I got to say that I'm not against theories being built up. I've got to really put on because I feel like I'm coming across as.
Do you want to hear my Loki theory?
Not really. No, I'm just sorry. Yeah.
Owen Wilson's Mobius.
Okay. Yeah.
Faked the moon landing.
Yes. No. Yes. That's actually something I can get behind.
There we go. Everything points towards it, dude.
What's up with you bringing the moon landing into everything? No, like I'm not against. Just for some reason.
Owen Wilson was great.
It might just be people like you that I know. I feel like I must know. I must know a lot of people who are just really into their Marvel theories, and maybe I'm just getting a little bit grouchy because I'm just getting a bit too tired of hearing all the Marvel theories. And
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's just all.
To be honest, like I don't know many people that are like.
I don't know.
That grew up reading the comics as much as I did. Like it's probably me and my brother.
Yeah.
So me and him have all crazy discussions on it, but
yeah,
I'm sorry if I annoy you with all my nerdy theories.
No, I don't look. I feel like this big part of this podcast as well is coming up with theories and stuff. I feel like we've done that with The Thing, and I feel like we've done it with other others. I enjoy that, but I think it's just that I have this feeling, and I don't know if it's just me, but like that the Marvel fan base can be quite. Just more in your face with it, and a little bit more like I don't know. I guess it's just a little.
I think it's just people nowadays, to be honest. Because
I think the Marvel fan base in particular. I think
you're probably right.
Within like when you're talking about TV show fan bases and movie fan bases and stuff, I think the Marvel fan base can be a little bit like abrasive. Is that the right term?
Probably, yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, people it's crazy how mainstream it's gotten, right? And that was what they tried to do with these movies. Like, that's how they make so much money. I mean, it's a Disney product. Everyone knows all these characters now. So it's interesting. I mean, you see it all over social media, no matter where you go.
Yeah.
Probably popular on like TikTok and stuff now, right?
So that's more what I'm getting into.
Yeah.
It's just, I love theories and stuff like that. I don't like, when it's like a theory like is sort of portrayed as being like better than another theory. You know what I mean? I don't know. I like theories because they're fun, not because I'm actually trying to figure out what's going to happen. I want to watch the show and I want to watch the next season and know what happens. I don't want to figure it out now.
Yeah, and I miss the days where you can kind of just have, I guess, how our catch-ups always go, and we do just discuss it. Just discuss how we're enjoying it, some of the good, some of the bad, what we think could be cool if it happens. Yeah. All in all, kind of just like appreciating it.
Yeah.
Instead of
silently judge each other afterwards for our decision.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Totally. No, but yeah. So overall, I enjoy both of them.
Yeah, me too.
But still a bit meh.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
There we go, guys.
No,
yeah, we usually rate things, right? We usually give things a rating.
Do we?
I think we have.
I think we have. Yeah, we have in the past.
I'll probably give Loki 8 out of 10, maybe 7.
I never know
10.
what what record thing you get. Like, what do you call it?
I'll give Loki 4 stars out of 5.
Okay,
maybe 3.5.
Really, that's pretty high.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I'll probably give Black Widow.
I'm trying to now think of the most ridiculous
3.5 out of 5
rating things I could go off. Like,
it's crazy when you look at reviewing websites.
Give it this many bananas out of a bunch.
But people do decimal points in some rating sites. Like you get I'm going to give this movie 66.2 out of it's.
Well, I mean, we do that. We give it 4.5 stars. Or,
yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah. You're basically just giving it a 4.5 out of 5. Yeah.
Very true. We need to get a Collectania specific rating system. We need to come up with that at some point.
The bananas and the bunch. I honestly...
Bananas and the bunch. That's the...
How many bananas out of a bunch do you rate this?
How many bananas are usually in a bunch?
I don't know. 7?
Wow. Great number to choose.
I don't know. I was just trying to pick the most annoying number. Yeah. Anyway, so I think Loki, I'd give it like a... Oh, no, I'm going to give Black Widow 3.5 and Loki 3.
You like Black Widow more?
Yeah, a little bit more.
Interesting. Just
the Red Guardian.
Red Guardian just pushed you loved him. It's interesting nowadays. I talk about Letterboxd too much. I always read reviews, and
You're always pressuring me into using it.
Dude,
I don't know why.
Letterboxd. But it's been interesting watching as all these things come out and people review them, and it's crazy nowadays how many people just give these things like 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Best thing ever. Like it's
to me that it loses credibility. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
I don't know. If someone gives something just casually giving a show a 10 out of 10 rating.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like the only thing I've ever given a 10 out of 10 that I can remember is Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And even then I'm like, I know it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Don't kill me. I know it's not perfect.
You
know it's not perfect too. I'm talking to there's a couple of people listening right now who are getting like real fanatics. It's dang near close though.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 10 out of 10. I don't think I gave all the trilogy a 10 out of 10. I think I gave like the first and last one. I can't remember. Maybe the first and second.
Wow.
And then like the third one I might have given like a 9.5 or something.
You still forget Galadriel's name.
I remembered her name. I didn't remember the face and the character to the name.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm the same. Like, my rating system is probably by personal preference. Like, I know a lot of my things that I love aren't the greatest in movie making quality.
Yeah.
They're just things I really enjoy. But it's been interesting seeing. I've mentioned Fear Street. I mentioned Loki, Black Widow. So many people are just jumping on and like
10 out of
10, best thing ever.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
But like, yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like if people give too many 10 out of 10s for things, it starts to lose. I don't know. Like it loses its meaning.
Yeah.
Like a 10 out of 10 rating loses its meaning real quick if you use it too much.
Yeah.
Because then people will start, thing is that you give ratings for other people.
Yeah.
That is the real reason why you're rating something. It's for other people to go and look at it and be like, oh,
if they like many people your taste, pretty much.
Or just to be part of the crowd. Like, so people know, like, oh, this movie's terrible and this movie's great.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to jump around and say, like, rating something is like, I don't have to worry about what other people are thinking. Well, you don't have to worry about that, but I'm more saying, like, you do have to think about, like, maybe I'll take it too seriously, but you do have to consider the fact that that your history of ratings kind of can hint towards whether or not, like, I don't know, it kind of can show your credibility, really, or show your, like, how much thought you're actually putting into this.
Yeah.
Because if you're giving 10 out of 10 to, like, every second movie, it's kind of obvious that, like, you're not thinking about it too much, or just that you're so positive, like, way more positive than any, like, majority of people in the world, which is not a bad thing, but I mean, people aren't going to then take your rating seriously.
Totally. And I mean, take our reviews on this podcast to the greatest salt. It is just our personal preferences.
Definitely.
In the past, it's already come up. We both like different things to each other and don't like things as much. So.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I understand taking a movie or a show that's not perfect and giving it a higher rating than what most people would give it based off of your own personal, like, it can be, I don't know, like, I think I've given movies higher ratings just because of, like, I don't know, like, the feel and aesthetics of the movie were particularly, like, interesting or pleasing to me.
Yeah.
Pleasing is a weird word to use for this, but, like, that I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
I can give a movie a higher rating even if I'm like, there's plot holes and the character development was pretty shoddy, you know, or whatever. Like they didn't, like I can still give I'll give a movie or a show a better rating sometimes just based on that, just because the music was good, you know.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
I fall for that all the time. Like if I just really love, I guess, the experience of watching something.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
But what I don't like doing is I don't like riding a hype train for something.
Yeah.
And just giving it a 10 out of 10 because everyone else is.
Yeah.
Or giving it a real bad rating because everyone else is.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I don't know. I think that's the thing. That's the sign for me anyway. It gives when someone's just, you know, willy-nilly chucking out 10 out of 10 ratings or 1 out of 1 rating, 1 out of 10 ratings. It sort of shows that you're probably just going with the crowd.
Yeah.
Or you're just being unreasonable.
Yeah, that's it.
Most 1 out of 10 ratings, like you go and look at what they're actually writing, and it's just like they're just annoyed about one particular part of it.
Yeah.
That they're just so frustrated with that one part that they're gonna, you know, give it a 1-star rating just to show how annoyed they are. Yeah. You know?
I mean, it's more mainstream to do now as well. Like, a lot of these things are more, people talk about it more. We're in the age of internet. Everyone is affected by everyone else's opinions.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think about Loki.
Let's just end
Black Widow. Yeah. Interesting world we're living in, guys. Thank you for spending some time on this world with us.
I think you can tell that we're getting quite tired. We're just rambling on about...
What's the next stream of consciousness thing we can talk about? Let's just... But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Jump in our Discord. We've been having some real cool discussions there. Would love for you to jump in. You can check it out in our show notes and just kind of talk about what we talked about this episode. Share your thoughts with us.
Yeah.
Also, I'll plug them again because they're awesome. The Final Draft Pod. They just did an episode on Loki as well. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm sure it'll be great. So if you want to hear more about Loki, go listen to them. I think they also on their Patreon feed talked about the importance of like ratings, or why, not the importance of ratings, but why they just looked at rating movies in general and talked a bit about why we do that. So check them out.
Yeah. Honestly, they probably done way better job than, like, I'm sorry guys, I don't have like
if you want,
I feel like I come in, I don't have a great like many things to say, but for some reason I also have a lot of things to say, so it's just
go listen to Alex and Adam. They'll probably have a bit more have a better discussion than we tend to. But yeah, thanks for listening. Also,
just thinking along like the line of like when you were just saying like, let's just see where our thoughts go. You know where my mind went?
Where?
I was just thinking about how it's crazy, or it's just weird how ducks, right? To hear me out. No, I was just thinking about how weird it is that ducks can be so great at flying, so great at swimming, and so bad at walking. You thought about that?
Cue the outro music. Let's finish. Oh no. Ducks. See you guys next time.